Brody!
Coloring is God's natural.
How's it going?
Hi everyone, I'm Jade from BaSex. Today we're going to be talking about cock rings. Who are they for, how long should they be worn for, and biggest question of all, how do they work? Cock rings, the biggest thing that I can say about them is that they're going to keep the blood trapped in the erection even after ejaculation. So they are awesome for prolonging sex. But to that same effect, they can be a bit of a double-edged sword. They're the best friend of older guys and can be kind of a nemesis to younger guys. And what I'm trying to say about that is, as guys get older and start getting lighter conditions of ED to even more the advanced cases where there's nothing going on down there, they're awesome because they are guaranteed. Once you get the erection by using like a pump or any other means, you can then maintain them with the cock ring. For younger guys, we don't really have that problem, so we don't really need the cock rings, but if you're just trying to increase your performance time, it is an option. The just downside to them, if you wear a cock ring, one, for too long, get the wrong size, and for the most part too tightly, can actually cause capillary damage in the form of either kind of crushing the capillaries by just having too small of a cock ring, or maybe physically not having, maybe wearing the ring for too long and actually cause some oxygen deprivation and cause nerve damage. Either way, it's not the most recommended thing for my younger clientele, and that's just for the sake that they are kind of targeted for guys who really need them. Now, to that effect, as long as you're wearing cock rings, and for the rule of thumb that I try to do, most people I've ever talked to, they say 30 minutes is fine with a cock ring. I try to recommend 20 just for the sake of having a kind of window of opportunity that you know is, one, decent, but also going to be 100% safe. So for me, anytime I'm telling anybody to try a cock ring, generally I say 20 minutes, not really too much longer. You do want to make sure you have the right size, and other than that, the only other thing that really kind of varies on them is the material. Now, there's all kinds of different material, and it'd be kind of impossible to go over all in one video, but the three that I'm going to talk about are going to be, for the most part, jellies, silicone, and metal. Now, of all the products that are physically out there, I try not to recommend jelly that much for anybody who's looking for a really, if you want something that's going to physically be holding the erection like kind of tightly and keep the blood trapped in there, you don't really want to use jelly. A lot of jelly products aren't necessarily restrictive enough that really works to help maintain the erection, but there are plenty of cock rings out there that are designed for increasing sensation, like using like maybe a vibrating bullet attached to it in the form of a vibrating cock ring, that use jelly for the sake that it holds it on there without it being uncomfortable for certain guys, just because a lot of cock rings, they're not really the most comfortable of things, and that's just in their kind of nature of how they work. Now, the next material, and kind of the one I do tend to sell the most of, silicone cock rings are really cool in the form that they are stretchy enough that they can be a little bit more give and take, as far as if you get the wrong ring, it will kind of adjust a little bit for you. But at the same time, it has that strength of actually kind of helping to maintain that erection. The last one is kind of a tricky toss-up. You're either going to like it or not. Metal, in my opinion, is probably one of the better materials out there for a cock ring, in the regards that its hold is absolute. It's not going to start to bend or anything, it's not going to give away. But the problem really forms in the idea that you need to know your measurements to the exact, because if you get one too big, basically you're just out the money, and you know, maybe in Danny's case, you could probably use it as a like a arm bracelet, but in the form of getting one that's too small, and I've had customers that have done this, and this would be probably a story for a different time, but if you get it one that's too small, especially if you can't get it physically on the penis, if you can't get it on, yeah, you're still out of the money. But for anybody who's trying to make it work, even though it's too small, it's going to be really hard to take off and could even be potentially painful. So for anybody who is at home, is looking to do metal. The only thing I can really say is make sure you have your measurement exact, and as always, thanks for watching.